Hey everybody, it's Mr. D again for the second YouTube video for Defino Art. This video is going to be about the 5th grade creative arts program and what you can do to help yourself out in going out for the program. But first, I did something in the last video. It was a shameless joke. I was going to address the elephant in the room, and I didn't do that properly, so I want to take a moment to actually do that now. Hi, how's it going, elephant? You got a trunk. What's that about? I got a trunk too, but it's on my car. All right, well, say hi to your mother for me. This has been Mr. D Talks to Animals. Okay, now that we finally got that out of the way, elephant has been addressed, let's talk about the 5th grade creative arts program. That program is for students that show a little acceleration in the arts. There's still a regular art program over at the middle schools, but there's an accelerated one. So in order to get into that, you have to do a portfolio review, and you also have to do an art exam. Now, obviously, it's going to be done probably a little bit differently nowadays, but I can still give you some tips, some hints on how to actually go out for that program normally. And even though we might not be doing it normally, you could still benefit from the practice of what I'm about to show you. All right, so creative arts program. What happens? Teacher comes in from the middle school, gives you an art exam. Also takes a portfolio review. The portfolio review is a group of 3 to 5 pieces of your best artwork that you actually show to the middle school teacher. The art exam, well, that could be anything from a poem, a song, describing something, and then you have to draw it. So let's take a look at some of the things that you need to do and you need to know to really do well on that portfolio review and that art exam. All right, so the first thing are tools. Usually give you a pencil, usually has an eraser. I'd like you to go one step further. This is a 2B pencil. What I'd like you to get your hands on is either a 6B or 8B pencil. This is going to be really important for you. We'll talk about that in a little while. Also, you want 2 types of erasers. Not the one that sticks on the end of it, okay? The little pink guy. You want a chunky eraser. One of those big pink ones, or this blue one, or a white one. Just a nice eraser for erasing. And you also want one of these. No, it's not slime, it's not goo. Calm down. It's a kneaded eraser. And you need... I did it again. You need this eraser. You need the kneaded eraser. This really helps you with the 8B pencil, and you can actually draw with this, as well as your fingers, because this is another tool that you have to draw with. So those are the tools that I would like you to have when you take the art exam, however way that comes. So let's take a look at what you can do with those tools. Again, what you guys will need is a 2B and 8B pencil. Love you guys to have a kneaded eraser and a square eraser, block eraser, or even a gum eraser. Sometimes they call it a gum eraser. And I'm going to have my little pencil sharpener handy here, because especially this one is going to need a lot of sharpening. All right, so what we're going to talk about now is pressure. And we're going to use the 2B pencil first. This one says 2B HB on it. The H stands for, you could say it stands for hard, B stands for black. So any kind of H pencils that you see or you get, they're going to be very hard. You don't have to sharpen them as much, and they have a lighter mark. When you go into the B's, the B standing for black, the higher the number, the softer the pencil. 6B, 8B, I've even seen a 9B out there, although I don't see too much of a difference between the 8 and the 9. So 8B pencil is going to be fine for you, okay? Stretchy gummy eraser, you're going to need that. You can really twist it and make shapes and erase what you want with that. And again, the block eraser. Let's start with this idea of pressure. So we're going to need a ruler first. So let's get a ruler here. Here's my ruler. This is my ruler, and we're going to draw, wrong kind of ruler. That's Alexander the Great. Sorry about that. We want this kind of ruler. Sorry about that. Happens from time to time. And I'm going to create a rectangle, and I'm just going to use the ruler too. just like this, and close it off. There's my rectangle. What I'm going to do with this rectangle is create it into 5 different sections. And you're going to work with pressure. So the idea of pressure would be this: pushing down really hard, and then slowly, carefully, getting lighter and lighter and lighter. This really helps you when it comes to drawing, okay? It even helps to have something like this nearby to test the type of tones that you're gonna have, okay? Shades, right? On my first square, what I wanna do is I want to make it as dark as I possibly can. Sorry if the camera's shaking a little bit. I don't know if it is or not. Nothing I could do about that. I don't have like a big YouTube setup here or anything like that, so it's bare bones here. Almost there. Really want to get nice and dark. Dark as I could go with a 2B pencil. Alright, I'm kind of satisfied with that. So after that, on the opposite side, you're going to make your lightest mark. So with the pencil, I'm going to really take the pressure off and make it as light as I possibly can. But I'm still filling it in. Light as I possibly can. So there you got my lightest light that I can make, and my darkest dark. What I want to do next is do the things that are in between. So that's how I'm practicing the pressure. So in this one here, I'm going to push down just a little bit more. I'm letting the weight of the pencil and a little bit of pressure from my hand push that pencil down to make it just a little bit darker than the one that's next to it. Now I'm going to take it a step further, go a little bit darker than that. Now I'm really going to start to push down. And there it is. Light to dark. That's your practice. That's what you have to do. So that's the first thing that I'm going to give to you right now when it comes to trying out for the Creative Arts program and taking a art exam, is to know how to do this. Pressure. And you got to really have to know how to do it, because you're going to be limited in your time. 25 minutes, 30 minutes. I don't know how long it's going to be if you have one, but you're going to need it for this. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to show you the same thing, but with the 8B pencil. Way different. Okay. Telling you, I got an audience right here, my cat. It's just like kind of sitting right there, staring at me drawing. It's making me nervous. All right. So with this one, same deal, but now with an 8B pencil. And like I said, it's a darker pencil. It's softer. You can even see little bits of graphite falling all over the place. And we'll get into why that's really good to have. All right, there we go. And that's pretty dark right there. So hopefully you can see that. Great, just great. Hopefully you can see that it's as much darker than that one. Now, lightest light I can make with this is going to be different. That is the same amount of pressure that I gave for this one, and it's obviously looking a lot darker, okay? So I've got to get that place in between. So with this one, I'm going to apply a little bit more pressure. Right there like that. For the next one, more pressure than that. And there you go. So definite range of shade right there, okay? So this is what I need you guys to do. So I'm gonna sharpen this real quick, and then with this concept here, you'll really see the difference
And because of that, you get a much better range of shade from the dark areas. Over here, you get a much better range of shade over here in the light areas. So you kind of want to use both of these pencils together. So say you go to draw something. Say you go draw, I don't know, like a sphere of some kind. You want to use both. Excuse you, give me this back. You want to use this one for the light areas and this one for the darker areas. That being said, seriously, you can just move it. Thank you, I appreciate that. So that being said, let's move on to the next sheet of paper here and do that sphere. All right, so I'm going to put this down here and make a circle around that. It's not super perfect, that's okay. I'm not going for crazy perfection right now, we're practicing. And this is going to be the same thing as the other pressure activity, but now you could just use a sphere instead, so you're working towards something. And I'm going to put a little horizon line back here. That puts my circle, when I make it a sphere, onto, it's going to be laying on something. So because I've got these great pencils here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this pencil first to create a light source. Kind of looks like the Star Wars Death Star, right? So my light is going to be coming from this direction. Can I have this, please? 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 Please. Stop. Be nice. Be nice. We talked about this. All right. No. No. Stop it. So here's your light area. Now the next area, would you stop? So the next one's going to go right here. And I'm just going to make these layers. Now think of it as what I did with the rectangle going across. Same thing, different degrees of shade and pressure. That was you drew on my paper. Take the pencil. Take it. Take the pencil. Take it. Be done with it. Oh, it's in its mouth. Oh my gosh. All right. So what I'm going to do is make this section my darkest dark, and not that one. And some of you already know why. I've talked to you about with a couple of you guys about this, that when light comes down, the light doesn't really make this back area super dark because the light hits whatever surface is here and bounces back. So it looks slightly lighter. So here's the first one. This is the darkest dark. You are incorrigible. Do you know that? All right. So because the next one's just, pretty close to the darkness, I'm gonna do this one right here. This is my next area of dark here. All right, so there you go right there. Darken this up on the side too here, maybe a little bit darker, get a little bit closer to it. So now I'm going to switch to this pencil, and I want this to be my lightest area right here. So I'm just going to give it a quick shade right there. It's not perfect. Hang in there. You'll see what happens. This area is going to get a little bit darker than that area. And you can start to see the sphere starting to come out. I wanted to use the pencils together for you, just to show you what you could do with these tools, that they do have good purposes, right? So this is my sphere so far. Now, what I'm also going to do is create a shadow. If the light's coming this way, then the shadow's moving that way. So I'm going to put a shadow here, followed by another shadow here, followed by another shadow over here. And then I'm going to make that one my darkest one. I'm going to have to sharpen that point pretty soon. Wow. All right, and then this one's the next shade up, a little bit lighter, so I'm going to go a little bit lighter with that one. And then finally I'm going to take this one and complete it by doing my lightest pencil, not super light. And there you go. There's the sphere. Now, once this is done, what you can also do for something like this, if you want to just keep it going, you can start to do the background a bit. The next tool that I talked about is your fingers. You can use your fingers on this. I'm going to start with the pinky, and I'm going to smudge this in so I get rid of my pencil lines. Okay? Now I'm going to smudge the next section. Just kind of go in circles here. And it gets rid of the pencil lines. Now I'm going to go in between here and just keep going. I'm going to switch fingers so I can put more pressure with my finger here. It's a little stronger. And it gives it a little bit more texture. Sorry about the shaking. I'm really pushing down. I really want to work it in to get some of the pencil marks out. Same thing down here too. I'm gonna work the smudging in like that. Now my finger's completely dark, and I can use this to draw if I wanted to, right? So if I wanted to fill in the table, I could just start smudging around with my finger, and it gives it like a really light tone. No pencil marks behind it, right? I could do the same thing up here. I could give this a bit of a smudge here to get rid of some of the pencil marks and really spread that graphite around the paper so that it's filling in all of the tooth in the paper. When I say tooth, I mean that when you have a piece of paper like this is drawing paper, there's little bumps inside of here. And you could see the bumps on the paper as you draw. There's areas where it looks lighter and then darker. It's not like a smooth surface. The tooth takes the graphite, the powder, and it fills in those spots. That's how you get this. So now let's start using this gummy eraser. I love this thing because it's such a fantastic tool to sculpt you can sculpt it to use anywhere you want in your drawing. It could be very thin and pointy, and you could do light work. You can use really good pressure with this. I'm going to highlight this part of the sphere and then work the shade back in until I feel like I have a nice bright spot right there. That's it. And the last thing I want to do is give some shout outs to some students for birthdays this week. I'm not too sure if that's happening on DDN or news networks or anything like that, but we should still be celebrating birthdays. So I have my list of birthdays right there of Advait, Ethan, Brandon, B, Serena, and Shoria. Guys, have a wonderful birthday this week. I hope you have fun. I hope you're trying out with this art. And if you make anything else, if you're looking on YouTube or on Google and you're finding all these different types of activities you can do, share it. Please share it. Email me. Let me know. Let me know on the Google Classroom, and I'll put those pictures up. Gonna hit Twitter today. Gonna post a brand new picture today. Gonna hit Instagram today. Gonna put another picture up on there too. And hopefully today I'm gonna put out a second video of what happened to me with my paper airplane throwing. All right, guys. Have a great week. Till next time. Oh yeah. Oh no, wrong cup. Gotta do the one with the dolphin on it. News music. Bye guys.